began. True to his word, Tom Hudner granted me that interview, then another and another, until what began as a magazine story blossomed into this book. And the book kept growing. I discovered that Tom and his squadron weren't your typical fighter pilots. They were specialists in ground attack, trained to deliver air support to Marines in battle. So what began as the story of fighter pilots became a bigger story, an interwoven account of flyboys in the air, Marines on the ground, and the heroes behind the scenes, the wives and families on the home front. Over the ensuing 7 years, from 2007 to 2014, my staff and I interviewed Tom and the other real-life characters of his story more times than we could count. All told, we interviewed more than 60 members of the greatest generation, former Navy carrier pilots, Marines, their wives, their siblings. This story is set in 1950. So many of the people we interviewed were still young for their generation. They were in their 70s and early 80s, with sharp, vibrant memories. At times, I stepped away from devotion to work on my World War II book, while my staff kept plugging away on devotion. They had help too. The historians at the Navy Archives, the Marine Corps Archives, and the National Archives were practically on call to aid our research. Over those 7 years, we worked as a team, the book's subjects, the historians, my staff, and I, to piece together this story. Our goal was for you not to just read devotion, but to experience it. To construct a narrative of rich detail, we needed to zoom in close. Our questions for the subjects were countless. When a man encountered something good or bad, what did he think? What facial gestures corresponded with his feelings? Did his eyes lift with hope? Did his face sink with sorrow? What actions did he take next? More than anything, we asked, what did you say? I love dialogue. There's no more powerful means to tell a story. But an author of a non-fiction book can't just make up what he wants a character to say. This is a true story, after all, so I relied on the dialogue recorded in the past and the memories of our subjects who were there. Time and again, we asked these witnesses to history to reach into their pasts and recall what they had said and what they had heard others say. In this manner, we recreated this book's dialogue, scene by scene, moment by moment. In the end, before anything went to press, our principal witnesses to history read the manuscript and gave their approval. I owe a debt of gratitude to these real-life characters of devotion, people you'll soon meet and never forget. Tom, Fletcher, Lura, Daisy, Marty, Koenig, Red, Coder, Wilkie, and so many others. Devotion was crafted by their memories as much as it was written by me. There was another level of research that this book required. I needed to see the book's settings for myself, all of them, from New England to North Korea. So I hit the road and followed the characters' footsteps to the places where they grew up, flew, and fought. That journey led me from Massachusetts to Mississippi, to the French Riviera and Monaco, to a port in Italy, a ship off the coast of Sicily, and back to the battlefields of the Korean War. I had been to South Korea before on a USO tour, but never to that shadowy land to the north, North Korea. But before the book was done, my staff and I went there too. We traveled to China, and then into that misty place known as the Hermit Kingdom, the land where some Americans enter and later fail to re-emerge. Our trip to North Korea is a story in itself, but let's just say I owe its success to Tom Hudner. As devotion neared completion, I struggled for a way to describe this interwoven story to you, the reader. My prior book, A Higher Call, had been easy to categorize. It was the true story of a German fighter pilot who spared a defense